Today, we're going to talk about the 10 new cards that are being added to Runeterra during the Variety Patch, and after that, we're going to talk about the Riot Mystery Event in LA. And as you can tell, me and Marshall are not alone this time. We have a very special guest for this very special episode. GrappLr, welcome. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good. Good to be here. Thanks for inviting me, and looking forward to doing this.
Awesome. Yeah, Marshall, how do you feel about everything that happened in the past week as well? Because it's been a lot.
I mean, I loved it. It was such a fun event to do. We'll talk about a lot about what we did later on in the podcast, but I personally, it was my favorite trip that I've done, and I've done a lot of trips. So that's it. That like sets the bar quite high.
Okay, yeah, I think everybody that we talked to during the event kind of has the same opinion, but before we get into that, we're just gonna look at the 10 new cards that have been revealed a couple of days ago, depending on when this podcast comes out. And after that, we're just gonna talk about everything that we went through during the trip to LA. So, 10 cards, and the first one that I have right here is probably Marshall's favorite of the bunch. So if you can read it out and just tell us what you think about it, that'd be great.
So this is the card that I'm revealing. So the people in the tournament, there was a tournament that took place, and the people that did the worst, the first choice of cards. Now, as the amazing, formidable player I am, I went like 0-4. So you know, we're going strong on the win rate. So I got first pick, and of course I'm picking the Demacia card. So Demacia, 5 mana slow, Taloned Strike, grants birds everywhere +1/+1, and then an allied bird strikes an enemy. So it's like Siren Song for birds, and then like Fish Fight. So the design is interesting because the bird archetype has never really had a good deck. I don't know if you guys have ever tried to cook one, but when I cooked one, it's a very solid, like, this deck is bad. So Siren Song was kind of broken. And I'm kind of interested to see where this goes. It's the fact it's slow. Like, I know Siren Song was slow, and it's 5 mana, but like, I'm very interested to cook this. I didn't cook with this at the tournament because I was like, this card is bad. After looking at it, I feel like there's a deck out there. Maybe it's not tier 1. Like, I should have probably cooked with this a little bit more.
Okay. GrappLr, what do you think? What's your first impression about Talon Strike?
I don't know, dude. Like, allied birds, who plays birds, first of all? Secondly, the 1/1 is pretty cool. I mean, you can compare it, I guess, to Siren Song, but Siren Song affects husks, which is a massive reason why it's so strong. If it didn't hit husks, like, it would be very mediocre, in my opinion, at least. I mean, maybe not mediocre, but it loses a lot of value without husks. And
well, Siren Song is also 1 cost. It's not just husks.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, it includes, like, husks are 1-drops, and there's a lot of cards that integrate husks into them. So you're getting free 1 costs all over the place that have way more value than they should get. So you have cards that are, like, significantly stronger. Whereas birds, I mean, how many birds are there in the game? I guess you have Quinn as your main champion.
Demacia has 5. There's Fleet Feather Tracker, there's Valor, there is the 4 mana 2/1 that summons another one. There's the 4 mana 3/1, which buffs all other birds, and then there's the 6 mana bird that's 6 mana 6/6. If you have a different subtype than me, you can generate a card from Demacia.
Just from the top of your head, huh? As the Demacia lover, just knows all the birds.
I mean, so it's good with the one that makes an exact copy of itself, sure. But I mean, I don't know. I'm just not sold. Like, I guess with Udyr's card rotated, maybe. Like, Udyr's card was pretty nice, buffing everything in your deck. And I guess if you only run birds, maybe it makes some sense. But I don't know. Then you're just forced to run pure birds. What's your win condition in this deck if you're running pure birds?
Yeah.
So the deck I'm kind of trying to cook is like Shen J4, but like the worst version, and you just stick it with birds.
Yeah,
so
good
that
luck.
if you don't have the quick attack card, you can use the barrier from Shen. But like I said, it's the inferior Shen J4. But like, I'm gonna cook with it. We'll see what happens. There's like Nico decks that you could probably use. I don't know.
Are you getting value out of the strike very often?
So the one thing that you could do is like you could play Fleet Feather Tracker on turn 1, and then Talon Strike on turn 3.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's
like,
awful.
That's like probably the best value you can get of like, okay, my opponent's like done a slow start, and then you get like the tempo play, and then the next bird you play is like the 4 mana one. So it's a very difficult card, especially with the strike, but like It'll be interesting to see. Someone's got to cook something with it.
I mean, you're someone, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm revealing this card, so I feel like I'm obligated to at least try and find a deck that it's good in.
Fair enough.
Okay. Yeah, I think the Spirits Unleashed is a card I haven't thought about yet, but now that you mention it, I think that's the closest comparison. There's like dealing 1 to everything is probably easier to get value out of than having a bird strike something, because there just aren't any real big birds. So mid-range
And
birds.
Spirit Unleashed hits everything, not just birds.
Yeah, but you're giving your stuff like +1/+1, so you don't kill your own stuff with it, right? At the same time.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
Unironically, I was gonna say, I think this spell could probably be 4 mana. Make it actual Siren Song cost, and it would probably see play. But at 5 mana, it might be a bit difficult.
Yeah, no, I agree. All right, GrappLr, you wanna take it for the next card?
Who are we going for here?
If you can see.
I see Chaincaster. 0 mana 3/2, curse me with shackles. So it's one of the few 0 mana cards in the game. There's actually a card that generates 0 mana cards, if I'm not mistaken, right?
So
Ransom Riches? Is that what you mean?
So there's Ransom Riches, and then I got this in the tournament. If you play Prometheus Promoter and then play an Attune unit with 0 mana and you get the mana for the spell, you'll generate this.
Oh, okay.
So there are ways to generate it randomly. I think this is good in Nightfall. Like, you get a free Nightfall trigger card. I mean, it is 2 mana, but you're also getting like 3/2 worth of stats, which is what, maybe like 1.5 mana worth, 1.2 mana worth. So if I look at it that way and I get a 2 mana, it's not bad. It's playable. Like, I can see this being played in aggro. Why not? Like, that's decent, right?
Yeah, I think so. Like, aggro doesn't really use spell mana generally.
Yeah.
Because it's like Fervor, but you don't play Fervor when you have 3 spell mana. So I could actually see that. Yeah.
I think Nightfall aggro is the best bet, because at least then you have something to do with the cursed card. It can give you that Nightfall proc with the mana. Sometimes you're lacking that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it gives you 2 Nightfall triggers, right? It gives you the initial one that it comes down on, and then the shackles afterwards. So like, for Nightfall, it's pretty good value.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can use it just on turn 1 to Nightfall trigger as well. Do you have any Nightfalls on mana 1? You do, yeah. You have the 4/1, right?
Yeah, the Unlooker. Yeah.
So you can actually just play Chaincaster into him, which is a pretty good aggro opener as well. And then you can use the 2 mana on the following attack turn for another Nightfall and just roll with that.
Yeah, that's actually really good.
I just thought of something. This is like really good. So the only reason why Samira saw a lot of play is because she was like a 2 mana 2/2 that just challenged something off the bat. Diana can now do that kind of reasonably. Like, we have the 1 mana card in the deck, the Dusk Petal. The 1 mana that gives you the Dusk Petal. Like, that is a combo you could do anyway, but like, you could probably get that combo off a lot more easy, you know? Like, if you just 3 of the 1 mana card, 3 of this.
I feel like, yeah.
Diana turn 2 is kind of scary.
I feel like Dusk Petal does right now is best if you use it to get like a turn 6 Winding Light or something. I think it's better to cheat stuff out, so having this activate, I think, yeah, that makes sense.
Sure.
All right. We'll take the next one, which is probably the one we've seen the most during the tournament. This is a 2-mana Ionia card, 1/1 elusive, play summon an exact ephemeral copy of me. Yeah, the direct synergies here are obviously like it goes into Gwen Zed, which is like a very popular ladder deck because it gives an ephemeral. And the other one that we saw a lot during the tournament, I think most of us did at least, is with Zed and Gnar, which uses like the Omen Hawk, Yadulski Snowdog, Glacial Saurian to just buff up a bunch of units and then do Ionia things that win through elusive. This card was very good, I feel, because in a late game, if this is a 3/3 or a 4/4, that's 8 elusive damage you're looking at. It's a finisher, but it's also like a good chip damage early. What did you guys think?
I mean, I fully agree. It's great in buff decks. It's really good in Gwen Zed because, well, it does give you the ephemeral, like you said. I wonder if I would ever play this in a control deck as like a one-of. Like, elusive blockers are not bad to have. Like, it's not the worst card, but I don't think you would main deck it necessarily. Still, a lot of value in, as you said, those 2 decks, and probably in others as well.
Yeah.
I wonder if you can run this with the... Is the card rotated yet? The one that makes all of the cards in your deck ephemeral and gives +2/+2?
I think that's what Rolly played.
So Rolly played that. It was Encroaching Shadows. And so she did a very scary combo on me, and I would have lost the game if she got it off. So you played that for 5 mana. Everything gets +2/+2 and ephemeral. And then she played Stalking Shadows. So if she got this, she would have had, on that turn, Stalking Shadows. And then for 4 mana, she would have had 4 units, all being 3/3, Emerald
Sure.
exclusive, and I'm like, damn, that's a pretty powerful finisher because there's not many elusive blockers in the game, so like they're normally just like Badger Bear, Omen Hawk, so they're just doing a lot of damage. And I would say I think this is the strongest card of the variety set. I think this is the one that you'll see get most play.
I think so too. The other one that is good or comes close, I think, is the dragon, the SI dragon.
Oh yeah,
I think that's
it's very
GrappLr's
slow,
reveal, right?
but it's strong. Yeah.
So I mean, we'll get to that card later, so we'll talk about it then. But yeah, I think this is probably the card you're gonna see the most on ladder because Zed, Gnar, Gwen Zed, popular decks. It's just very good there. So yeah. All right.
I'll
Go
let
ahead,
you
Marshall.
take this one because
Yeah?
this is actually your you won the tournament using this.
I mean,
So
okay.
I'll let you take this one.
I gotta be. This card did not win me the tournament, but it was in one of the decks I brought. Honestly, it was Majin is the card that won me the tournament. But, alright, so 4 mana from Freljord, Blade Bound Berserker. When you play a slow spell that targets a single ally, copy it onto me, and it's a 3 for it. So the very obvious synergy is Udyr, because it works with stances, and that is the most consistent way to get multiple slow spells that actually target an ally. I looked through the collection to find like the best synergy points for this, and the 2 that I found that were funny were, first of all, Magical Feathering. That's probably the best one. And the second one that I think is really funny is Bellows Breath, where you target an ally, it gets buffed by +1/+1 twice, and it deals 1 to everything, and then that would also get copied to the Blade Bound Berserker, so it deals 4 to the entire board. Yeah, I was really close to playing 1 copy, but I wasn't sure what the meta was going to look like, and I figured since we're playing with competitive players, they're probably all going to be like Seraphine and, Karma players, and they don't really build boards.
I mean,
so.
it kills Seraphine.
That's true, actually, but yeah, it is a 2-card combo at that point, so I almost played 1 copy of Bellows Breath, but I ended up not doing it. But yeah, the most powerful thing about this card with stances is that Udyr needs 3 stances to level up, and this gives you 2. And then if you play the second one with this on the board, Udyr gets the extra +1/+1. That's where I felt it was powerful.
Yeah, I mean, buffing Udyr to like insane numbers is like how you win. You just slap Overwhelm on him, and you do. So he just makes it he grows a little bit faster.
Yeah.
There is one thing about this card though that needs to be talked about is on the card, it doesn't really say it. You cannot target this card to copy it on itself. So you have to target another unit to get the
Wait, is that right?
spell. So this is what Ruben confirmed when we were playing. He said it briefly and was like, oh, just to let you know, if you like cast a stance on this, it won't then copy the stance again onto itself. You have to do it on a
I mean, that's just bad
another ally.
wording then.
Yeah, so it's Riot wording, and Ruben was aware of it. So I assume that when this hits live, that wording is going to change on it. Like, this is the version that we saw, so
Sure.
yeah. Also, this card is called Bethany on the dev
I saw
end.
that. Yeah.
So this is Bethany for everyone's knowledge.
All right, yeah. Bethany the Berserker.
Exactly.
All right, let's just get through it. The sneaky swap.
So the Sneaky Swap is a 3-mana Vandal City card with the text, recall an ally to summon a Hungry Owl Cat in its place. It's very similar to the Ionia Z spell. I can't think of the name. And it's an interesting card. I think you're not main decking this card. I think this card is purely a Conchologist hit. If you see this card, it is because you hit Conchologist and you went, I need that for this specific game. It's good for the decks that probably want to run it. Like if you like broad main decks probably do this, where you're like, oh, I'm gonna need this broad main alive, so they're gonna like recall it, or might be something like Ret. Something's gonna go on where the opponent's gonna play this because they created it, and you'll be like really pissed off. But yeah, no, out of all of the cards, so I spoke to Aaron, Runeclaw, during the event, and they were like, oh yeah, I've seen 9 of the 10 cards you play today, and I was like, you've definitely not seen this one, have you? She was like, no. So it's an interesting card. It's good, but like very situational. If you main deck it, you're not doing more than 1, in my opinion. But I don't know. What do you guys think?
What do you think, GrappLr?
I mean, I don't know where I would main deck this. I'm trying to think of scenarios. So, for example, if you have a lot of like spells, like fast speed spells stacked on whatever unit you have, and you replace it with Sneaky Swap, those should still target the unit. So it's not like you're getting a free spell shield, but it's a really bad base unit. It's a 2/1. So I can't think of many scenarios where like what is so important that you need to land like spells on your own unit. It's fine to land them on a 2/1. Maybe an Unyielding Spirit, but again, like that doesn't really make that much sense. Maybe like you can do it to like guaranteed lethal if somebody frostbites one of your units, and you can just replace it with Sneaky Swap, which is guaranteed to not be frostbitten because, well, it comes out with Spell Shield. But other than that, like I just don't see how you could main deck it. Like these aren't scenarios that are tier 1 in any sense, and it's quite often probably a dead card.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not sold on this being main deckable, but like you said, it can be a pretty interesting pull from Conchologist or other create cards, and it can be useful in certain situations.
It's a creative unit for Nora, and protecting Nora with this can be okay, I guess.
True.
But yeah, I don't know.
It does give Nora a level up.
Yeah. I'm not super optimistic about this. It's like you said earlier, this is probably just like a Conchologist or a Trinket trade card or something, and that's the extent of it. But yeah, the card existing doesn't mean it needs to be played around because it's in Battle City. Okay.
Maybe you played in a Hungry Owlcat deck.
Are those birds? They are birds. They work with the Talon Strike, actually. You can. Wait, are they? I think they are, right?
Wait, are they?
No, they're not birds, because that was what everyone was complaining about. Saying that,
Jesus Christ.
How
are owls not birds?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
They're literally called owls. How is that possible?
Okay,
Maybe
I'm just double checking, but I'm fairly sure.
I think it's just a Fae.
That it's just a Fae. So you can play it in the Fae deck, but like,
yeah,
sure.
All right.
Not impressed.
No, that's pretty awful. All right, GrappLr, do you want to take the next one?
All right, so we have a Horned Swarmcaller. It's a 6-mana 6/6 dragon with Fury, and it has a play effect, which is grant 2 enemies -1/-0, and disable their positive keywords. I think it's a pretty good card. Obviously, I think you're going to play in almost every Elder Dragon deck, and you probably played in quite a few Shurima decks, and the reason is it deals with the meta really well. A lot of the meta is elusives, a lot of the meta is formidables, and removing elusive from 2 units permanently is insane. Removing formidable from 2 units permanently is also insane. Less so because they can be revived with Mordekaiser, but still very good. And on top of that, you remove their attack on top. So just overall massive value. And in Elder Dragon, I don't see a reason you wouldn't really run this, because you do run into problems not being able to block elusives. You do run into problems by being overwhelmed with formidables. And for those 2 scenarios, is just excellent. And lastly, like you can even get rid of things like Deathless. It's not bad in like Elder Dragon mirror matchups where they have a lot of keywords in their units. So removing Challenger can be really clutch as well. Just overall strong card. And the stats are great. 6/6 Fury, that's not bad for 6. If you're playing Elder Dragon plus a boon on top, a lot of value.
Yeah, I think so too. And another thing is that if you're removing keywords and you're giving something -1, they probably can't even attack into a 6/6. Plus it has Fury. So it's like you're creating a roadblock and you're giving your opponent basically 2 bricks. Like you can almost make their 2 units just unplayable because this 6/6 exists. I think this is very, very good. It looks really baseline and bland, but I think it's such an incredibly powerful tool for Shurima that will just see play in any deck that doesn't go like, that doesn't try to win before turn 6. I think this could even be playable in decks like Akshan Sivir if that still existed, just because it is like, hey, I can stabilize with this. That they don't have sharp side anymore, just getting that quicksand and a big unit in that deck, I think is pretty powerful.
I just want to add as well, so by the time that this comes out, people probably realize, but because it's a play effect, this goes through Spell Shield. So this kills Galio. Like you play this after Galio, and Galio is just not a threat anymore. He's just a big blocker.
That is true.
Which is, it's very cool. It counters a lot of the stuff that's going around in the meta right now. The other funny thing was I kind of lost a game to this card when I was playing against Frizz. He was playing Nico Shurima, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm playing Jack Set. I'm going to spam my coins. And the fact that you realize that, like, oh, I no longer have my keywords anymore. Not the temporary thing, it's just some cards just like become useless. And it's like, no. This card is a staple for Shurima decks, like mid-rangey Shurima decks. So it's going to be interesting to see how it performs.
For sure.
I agree.
All right, Marshall, you want to go next?
Yes. So the next card we have is called Kashuri Swipe. It is a Noxus 3-mana slow spell that says kill a unit if it's damaged. Otherwise, damaged. Actually, I just realized that is spelled wrong, so I'm going to have to. Sorry. So all of these cards that you see, I made these in the custom card maker because they didn't give us they gave us the art, but not the cards.
Yeah, really fast by it. You did like look, it's like doubled here. The
Yeah,
bottom
yeah,
of the card, it continues there.
So I fixed it on that one. I have the version in front of me. I have a new one that's fixed, but yeah, I still have Damageed on a Kashuri Swipe. So let's restart this. It's a 3-mana slow spell, Kashuri Swipe from Noxus. Kill a unit if it is damaged, otherwise deal 2 to it instead. So this is just a worse Scorched Earth. And the reason why... So we don't have Scorched Earth anymore in Standard.
We do.
It got taken away. We do?
We do. Yeah.
I think you're lying. I'm going to have to check that. But I think the reason they said that when they make this card was because of Alan's worlds, right? Like they talked about the having Scorched Earth. And they were like, oh yeah, Scorched Earth is just bad if you just have it in your hand and you have no damage units. So it gives you the flexibility to like, if you had 2 of these in hand, you could use one and then use another to kill. That's how like Ruben talked about it, which is like, sure, it's kind of Noxus's thing. I don't think you're gonna see this card get played. Maybe I'm gonna get proven wrong, but like, I don't know. With it being 3 slow,
I feel like it's premium for Battle City Noxus. I think it's a very good card. But like as a 2 of, as like a 1 or 2 of, I think it's a good card because it's like it's the card that actually becomes very good when something is damaged, and it's a card that can enable your other cards if they're not damaged. Like you deal 2 to it, you kill them, or you kill them if they're already damaged. Like it's like the glue to like fix your Disintegrate and Scorched Earth hands if you can't use them.
Yeah, I agree with Sunny. I think this card is playable. How strong it is, it's really hard for me to say because I don't really play much Noxus Bandle City, but like he says, I think that's the deck that wants to play it because you have things like, you have a million pokes in Bandle City, and a lot of them are fast speed, so you can just play that on stack with a fast speed spell that instantly, well, it doesn't instantly die, never mind. No, it does, yeah, it does. So you can stack them together, and that's an insta-kill at slow speed, or you can use this to finish things off their damage, like you said. You can also use this to enable combos. If you're playing Bandle City Noxus, it just makes sense to add. I would probably always run 1 copy of it because of the versatility. Sometimes you're lacking a ping, sometimes you're lacking kill an injured unit.
Yep.
Having both in 1 is just good for me. Like it's not like it's worse for each function it has. There's better cards, but having a 2-in-1 is always a good thing.
Exactly. It's not. It's the third option is that Disintegrate. By the way, it's like something is damaged, but you can't kill it off. You need to damage something, or you need to activate Disintegrate. It hits all 3. So I think it's fantastic. I think it's I think it's exactly like what that deck needs to not be quite as awkward as it sometimes can be. I don't play it a lot, like just like you, but I feel like from playing against it all the time, I can see that sometimes there are just those awkward hands that you can fix with this. Okay, yeah, pretty boring. Not a card for content creators for sure.
Definitely for competitive, definitely, but for maybe not competitive, but you know, that's a different topic.
Yeah, too soon, Marshall. Too soon. Okay, so this is a 5-mana build for the card, but after reading the card, you'll realize it's a Jhin card. 3/4 Chakram Dancer. Play deal 1 to anything. Your skills drain. So I went over all the cards in Build Starter where this would be usable, but the followers from Build Starter that have skills are also Jhin cards. And the champions that have skills are Misfortune, Gangplank, and Twisted Fate. Don't think I'm missing one. And those are all cards that would not care at all about skills draining unless it's specifically like the Twisted Fate Noxus deck with Annie and Ravenbloom Conservatory. But even that deck, I think, doesn't really need this. But that's the one card where I could see this. And for the rest of the decks, like, yeah, this is pretty good with Jhin. Like, Riptide Rex heals you back to full. But if you play Riptide Rex, you probably already won. So, yeah. I don't see this card. It's really cute, though.
I think it's definitely a content card. I think the only deck that you could probably see it in is the Lysandra Volibear Deluge deck. The only one I can, like, really think of.
That's a good one. I didn't think of that.
So you have Volibear heals 12 if it's on the board. You can have the Volibear bird thing that's like an avalanche on a stick. So, like, you have, like, AoE heals.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, that's the really only thing I can see this being, like, potentially played in. So...
Do you see anything else, GrappLr, that we missed?
Not a fan. I mean, it's like, if I was to play, like, again, he's rotated, but if I was to play, like, Control TF...
Yeah. Maybe. But even then...
It can be a massive heal, right?
Yeah, no. With like a red card with a barrel or something is huge. Yeah. But the decks that I was thinking of too was back in the day you had like Keck Control with Gangplank and Thresh. But like then the only thing that's actually a skill is I think Gangplank. It's like I feel like that's where it would be good because it gives you more control and your control keeps you healthy. But how many skills are you actually using?
Heals for a nice amount.
Oh, wait, I didn't even think of it. You're right, actually. Ledros could heal you for like up to 10.
10 HP, yeah.
Okay, that's kind of cool, actually.
It gets worse with each one, though.
Every time you deal damage, your heal is worse.
So I was thinking of like, okay, I was trying to cook with this today with the Deluge deck. So the 2-mana Sejuani follower, which is like deal 1 to the Nexus each.
Oh, yeah.
It's like drain, it's like literally deal 1 to the enemy Nexus. That's all that now does. The Volibear card does it. There's not a lot of card, like the fact that it's a spell. The fact that it's skills limits the stuff that you can do. Yeah. It itself has a skill which is elemental. There's no card. We don't have the card art for it, but the spell that it puts on the skill that it puts on the stack is a elemental. So like, if you deluge, you can buff that to deal more, which I think you want to do if you're gonna play this card. Like, you just want to make sure you get the value off first. I guess we'll see if it sees any play, but I don't think it will.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I think in Jhin you can add it. I think it's actually decent in Jhin, but other than like not from the fact that it heals you, just because I don't know if Jhin has enough cards. Like I think this might be like a one of just on top of one of the cards that are filler.
Yeah, because Jhin really values like pinging for 1 very often.
Yeah.
Because it's usually like it was the Bandle City Jhin deck. It kind of got swapped to like Nora Elder Dragon later on, but just being able to ping for 1, I think is pretty valuable.
It's free phase damage, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, someone needs to cook the banana card with this. There you go. That's my content card.
Banana blaster.
The healing banana.
Yeah. Pretty thematic for Soraka because she has bananas and she heals. Okay, anyway, there's 2 cards left. GrappLr, this is your card, right?
Yeah, I got Ariston the Disgraced. I got Skamazed. I was one of the first people to pick cards, what they want to reveal, and I picked this one, and I didn't realize it was the leaked card. So, nothing new for anybody who has been watching the leaks, but yeah, it's an 8-mana 8/4. It is fearsome, and when it's summoned, granted deathless. Also, an attack, it gives enemies -1 to this round, so basically it can't die. You kill it, it resummons itself, and because it's resummoned from deathless. Wait. Is that how it works? Does Deathless resummon a unit? It is, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so basically, when it dies, it resummons as an 8/1, and because it was summoned, it gains Deathless again. So you have permanent 8/1s that all give -1 attack. That's pretty cool. I don't know if it's competitive, but there's a couple of cool things I think about. For example, I think in an Undying deck, this is kind of cool. Reason being is your Runations are very strong. Now, of course, it is late game, but like Runation with this on board, not only does it give you blockers if your opponent's next, but it also gives you open attackers if you're going to be attacking on the next turn. Secondly, I think this card can maybe see play with the landmark that kills your strongest unit and summons the next unit. That was usually played with Viego Nasus, and it's that those decks lack 8-drops to resummon stuff. So, and furthermore, if you're playing 9-drops on top of that, it's also interesting because this card doesn't actually die, so you can have like permanent 9-drops being summoned. Overall, I think it's a little bit slow. It could be cool in Mordekaiser decks because, well, again, another unit you can just target for free and summon more of. And if you have like 4 or 5 of these on the board and you open attack, like it's guaranteed lethal because they have fearsome. So
yeah,
who knows?
I think that's the coolest
also,
thing.
Yeah. Also, it's permanent sack. If you're playing a sacrifice deck, well, you have infinite amount of units to sacrifice.
It's an 8-mana Undying, yeah.
But better because it revives the same turn you kill it. So you can just sacrifice it, re-sacrifice.
That's true, actually, yeah. If you have 3 hate spikes, you can use all 3 on the same unit, technically, and you keep getting it back. Yeah, I think the most likely scenario for this card to be good is if you get multiple on the board, like you said, and because it's fearsome, you attack with 5 of them, they give -5, and then you have lethal. I think that's like the dream, and that's why this last line of text is actually important, because you get rewarded for actually reviving it over and over. Especially with a Mordekaiser just building an army.
Sure.
Marshall, any thoughts?
I mean, I think it's just going to be funny when someone inevitably plays one Mordekaiser on this, and it just like duplicates across the entire board after one cast of a spell. It's very slow, but like I feel like once it's on the board, you're just kind of doomed to lose the game.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It's a great blocker as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw the 8/4 from the Iron Hound, right? The 5/3 that gives an 8/4, and that 8/4 is hell to deal with sometimes. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it'll always be an 8-1, right? But like after it dies initially, but like it's still the fact of it's never going to die. Like you gotta have to hush it, and it's like, that's just gonna be a pain.
The Shreema card, right?
True. They printed the counter.
All right, this is the final card. Marshall, do you want to take it?
Yeah, sure. So the card is called Prototype Poro. It is a 2-mana Poro from Piltover and Zorn. This is a 1/1 with Attune and Elusive. It is a Last Breath. Grants a random 6+ cost spell in hand. When I'm played, summon the Prototype Poro bot. So it's kind of like an infinite loop with the Jace archetype, I assume we're going to refer to it as. It's a very interesting card. So the first thing I need to mention is I don't know if they're going to fix it, but I think it was your partner. I think it was Card Gamer, right? Who tried to fuck with this card.
We brought this to the tournament, and we actually asked before we brought it if it's working as it's read, and the dev told us it is, and then we brought it, and it wasn't. so we got kind of scammed, man.
So the deck, to be fair, that deck, I'm glad it doesn't work, because I would be...
That deck would be amazing, by the way. Like, we thought it was tier 1.
You play it with Janatimo, Champion Strength, and the idea is that you would cast Champion Strength, put it on the stack, this immediately would get summoned, and then it would get buffed up, so that you would get a free 5/5 elusive.
It's not only Champion Strength, the Elite, the 3-mana gives you a 6/6, same thing. Like, you can put it on that, and you get, like, a 4/4 elusive on top of that. So, like, it was just massive value.
Wow. I didn't even think of that, but that's, the spell resolves, and then you get the Poro.
Yeah, but, like, as it reads, it should be the other way around, because it says, when I'm played, summon a Poro. So it's on the play effect, not on the resolve. But yeah, it's just badly written. Do we know if they're fixing that, or is it just actually badly written and they... Probably not fixing it. I don't think they have time to fix it, so they're probably just going to change the wording. That's a shame. I mean, it's kind of degenerate. They intended it to work the way we're saying. It was intended to be on play. Wow. Okay.
But it's very good.
Sad.
So the funny thing is, this is a burst blocker if you do it with like Formula, which I just realized then. I was like, hey, hold on. If this hits Formula, so it's a random card in hand. You're wasting that tune though if you're doing a Formula. Like, you're not thinking big enough, Marshall. I mean, true. But as in, like, I'm thinking like, okay, Piltover and Zorn, they're all about like being scummy and stuff. And you're like,
is Formula play? I mean, sorry, is the tune play? I'm pretty sure it's when it's summoned. Yeah, it's on summon. So where are you wasting it?
You get the 3-mana refill from Formula, so the attune would be
gotcha.
relevant. I don't know. I kind of like this card. Like, it's unique. Like, it's a Poro, but it's like, I don't think you're gonna be running this in any Poro decks. No, this could be anything. Like, I don't think it's a Poro card at all. It's just like, hey, here's a cute tag.
Why don't you run it in Poro decks? Why not?
I mean, it's not doing anything. It's
Borealis just is 5 mana now.
You run every 1 mana 1/1 elusive in Poros, and that's
the fact that it's just a Poro that is technically 1 mana, and
it's an elusive Poro.
Actually, like, you're right.
Elusive is lethal, and it's P and Z, which is the color you want, and this works with the Poro Snack 6 mana cost card as well.
No, that's 5 mana now.
Yeah.
They reduced it to 5.
Yeah.
You're right. I didn't think of that, but it's technically 1 mana because you want to use that spell mana for Poro Snacks anyway. That's true. That's very true. It's basically another Daring Poro.
So I'm just going to check what Poro King is running in the deck. Is there any 5/6 cost cards? But I don't think there is, right? I don't think they run anything.
No, everything that they would run was buffed to 5. Like Sunburst, they would play. Aurora Borealis, they would maybe play, but I think that's it.
Yeah, so you're literally playing this in a Poro deck to just get another elusive. And you know what? I can see them doing it.
Yeah.
I can see them doing it.
And that's legit, yeah, for sure.
Oh, I just looked at Poro King's stats, by the way. This card is, this deck is not okay.
What's the win rate?
The lowest win rate is 53. It goes like 57.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah. Also, I during the tournament, I was playing against Puffball Panda, who played Lux Jace against me. And I had lethal on board, but, you know, it's Lux Jace, so I didn't want to, like, open attack into an Hexbliterator or a Mystic Shot or whatever, which would stop my lethal. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to develop a card to use Assembly Line, which then also summoned the Poro. So she had 3 blockers for 1 card, and I lost the game because of that. So I've seen firsthand how strong this card can sometimes be if you're playing a little bit controlly. I think it's quite good.
Just don't build it with Champion Strength.
That's a good disclaimer.
You can just do that if you want. You know, that deck, I don't want to see that deck. That is the reason, by the way, that deck is the sole reason why if I won the tournament, I was gonna rotate Champion Strength because I hated that deck so much.
You would pick rotating Champion Strength over anything like a title, like Daily Quest, or whatever else.
Oh no, it's in like so the title was the one I wanted, but I never got that lucky. I never got to get to the point to redeem one. But if I was like, okay, if that was like, I think that was my third option because my rotate back would have been Golden Aegis, and then Champion Strength I would have got rid of because that card stains Demacia's legacy.
Fair enough. All right. Those were all the cards, so I say let's just start talking about the fun part, which is the trip to LA. What's the best way to do this? Should we just go like, hey, this was our day one because we did spend day one together. We can wait for GrappLr.
Yeah.
I'll open a picture actually.
Yeah. Do the group picture.
I'm back. Sorry about that. I dropped my ball.
It's all right.
It went rolling away.
Okay, so yeah, so day one. Oh, I'll let you just right click it and open image in.
All right, that's
You know, so sometimes my genius is
it's still not big enough.
Oh, there you go.
That works. Good enough.
Okay, so for day one, so we all got there on the Tuesday. So GrappLr didn't. GrappLr didn't land until technically the very early morning of the 8th.
True.
So you were the first one to the hotel, right, Sonny?
I think so. I mean, okay, actually, so when I was at the hotel, I think there were 1 or 2 competitive players because I know Toss was there. I was in the elevator, and I don't know what most of the competitive. I don't think I knew what any of the competitive players looked like. Actually, I was in the elevator, and there was a guy that got into the elevator with me. And I mean, it was a bit silent. We both clicked on the elevator button where we had to be. And then as he was about to enter, he looked around and he said, "Oh, hey, I didn't recognize you." And I'm like, "Oh, cool. I'm Sonny." And he didn't introduce himself for like a couple of seconds. I was like, I don't want to be rude, but I don't know who you are. And then he left the elevator and said who he was. And it was nice to just see another person there. It was a really nice guy.
I don't know how he did when he recognized you. You look identical to your online persona. You're identical. Out of everyone who went there, you're the only guy I could never not recognize.
Yeah, I mean that's why I like looked around at the end and be like, "Oh, hey, Sonny, what's up?"
Yeah. You're
just taller in person. I think everyone said that. Everyone expected you to be a little bit shorter, but
I expected Sonny to be 5'6". That was my vision.
That's what everybody says every single time. But yeah, I'm 6. So.
You're 6?
At 185 centimeters. 185,
just like,
186.
You're 6 foot.
Yeah, it's supposed to say 6 foot. You're missing the measurement there. You're just 6.
That's about 6 feet tall,
yeah.
But yeah, and then I got to the hotel in the afternoon.
Is that with shoes or not?
Say again?
Is he 185 with shoes or without?
I actually think so. It's on my passport, and I think they make you take it off. I think they make you take it off if it's on your passport. I don't remember, but
I got my suspicions now.
You think I?
What is?
You think I don't get to 6 foot?
I don't know.
No.
But yeah, no. So I got to the hotel. You were sleeping, I think, Sonny, right? I did the. Oh no! You came to my room fairly quickly when I said I was there. So I did like my. I don't have the bag. Does anyone have the bag? Like we all got a tote bag with like Legends of Runeterra on it. And it all had goodies. It had chocolate. It had some vitamin C. It had the water bottle, which had the sticker on it. And then it was like a nice like grab bag, and it was like, hey, welcome to the States, because most of us have never. So there you go. There's the tote bag.
The non-Spotify listeners, the YouTube watchers.
Yeah, no.
It's
I was so hungry, dude. That bag saved me. Oh, that was the best thing I ever saw.
So yeah,
I got to the hotel. I'm like, I gotta eat something, and then I looked at the bag inside. Everything. Oh, so good.
So there was these biscuits that we got, or cookies for Americans. And they were so good. Oh, there you go. He's actually saved. To be fair, I have mine. However, it did not survive the trip.
Oh no.
It's a little bit
oh no.
It's a little bit broken, but we all got a custom one. It was like, hey, welcome with our name, and the rule was kind of obvious. I think everyone, but a certain individual, kind of understood what the rule was, and it was eat the ones with the emotes, leave the one with your name.
We got 4 cookies total. It was Poro King, Elder Dragon, Nora, and then one just brick with like welcome name, you know, your name. And we were in the lobby, and GrappLr, you were telling me, I ate 3 out of the 4 cookies. I only ate the ones that weren't unique, the ones that everybody got, but I kept the one with my name. A little bit later, I go back to my room. We meet up again afterwards. I'm like, GrappLr, I took your advice. I ate the one with my name on it.
I don't know how you messed that one up, man.
Yeah, I don't know either. Oh man, yeah, full of regret.
You literally had one thing to do, and you failed it. But yeah, then I met you, and I'm a hugger. I'm a hugger. So I go in, give Snnuy a hug. It's all on camera. Then we go. We don't go for the walk in the evening, do we? No. We go for the walk in the.
We went to
morning.
Target.
Oh yeah, it was Target. So yeah, we go to Target. We go get some fruits.
That's where I got the Honey Crisp apples, and they are delicious. My God.
This man will forever remember this apple. He took a bite and he's like, "Oh my God."
Yeah, it was so good.
And then we were both jet lagged at that point, so we went to bed. I woke up like 1 a.m. and was like, "I'm wide awake." And then I see GrappLr's like, "Hey guys, I'm in the hotel." So bear in mind, my hotel room was 207, and he goes, "I'm in 209," and I'm like, "Oh God, where's 209 compared to me?" So I'm like, "Okay," I'm like, "I think I'm next to you. I'll come and say hi." Literally, he's the guy next to me. Which it makes sense of the when he started streaming. I'm like, who the hell is talking? I could like hear him through the wall. But yeah, so I go to GrappLr's door, knock on, and I'm like, okay, I hug Snnuy. I'm gonna give GrappLr a hug. I'm gonna be like, yo, I'm a friendly guy. Give me a hug. I open the door. Man's in the hotel bathrobe, and I'm like, I'm not hugging that man.
Oh God, dude.
So I gave him a firm handshake.
It was a very firm handshake, yes.
Very nice.
And then we sat and talked for a good like 30 minutes, 45 minutes.
Yeah, probably. Mm-hmm.
Just chilling, talking about like, what we're excited for, and then I think we both called it a night, and we went back to bed.
Yep.
Then day 2.
That was Wednesday.
We were all
then.
up early.
So
now we're on Wednesday. So now we're on Wednesday. We were all up early because the jet lag had still fucked us up. Mm-hmm. We were all on barely any sleep. And then I said to Snnuy, I was like, "Yo, I'm up. Do you want to go for a walk on the pier?" Because the hotel that they put us in was at the end of Santa Monica Pier, like 50 meters from it.
Yeah.
It was probably like the best hotel location. That if you were staying in the area, where would you like to go? They chose a good hotel.
But it's because of the McDonald's across the street, though, not because of the pier.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, McDonald's is just McDonald's, but like, it was nice to have like, hey, I need to get something quick. Mm-hmm. The Brazilians, Victor and Ian, they liked that the McDonald's were there. I saw them going to McDonald's every day.
I can't believe you guys went to McDonald's.
Yeah, I went there once because I wanted breakfast and I got a hash brown and I regretted it. I really my stomach was upset the rest of the day because I
from a hash brown.
Eating something that's fried in the morning. I'm not used to that. It did a number on me, man. I did not like it.
So I've worked at McDonald's for like 5 years.
Yeah,
so
you've built a resistance.
I have the resistance. It's like a poison.
Exactly.
Like, oh yes, I can have this. But yeah, Snnuy got his first hash brown. He's never had one. Maybe I overhyped it, but like hash browns are pretty elite. And then we went for a walk down the pier. There, it was very quiet, which is like, it was nice because it was like early morning. It was a Wednesday, so there was no one about. And we just went all the way to the end. Lots of birds, surprisingly a lot of birds. Yeah, nice and quiet, nice. By this point as well, it had stopped raining because we got there and it was a storm. So
yeah,
I don't know. There's a lot of noise going on behind me. It's either someone's broken into the house or someone's messing about.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, but so we we go and do that, and then I think we just chill out, right, and wait for. I can't think of like what we did. Oh no, we went shopping that day, didn't we? We went
to the Apple store.
Yeah, I forgot at what point we met up with GrappLr then, because then we went to the gym a little bit, and then after we sat in the lobby for a bit, that's when we went out.
yeah.
Went to the
then-
gym as an
You went to the gym. I just stood there.
Yeah, we chatted in the gym.
Yeah. I just
Grab-
stood there with my
Marshall
hand.
worked out. Marshall worked out. He did. He did some elliptical.
Yeah, I mean, sure, for like 30 seconds. You worked out, and me and Sonny stood, watched, and we talked. We were catching up.
Yeah.
And then we went and because you needed to get some new technology, you needed to get a
True.
new phone because Brazil likes to
Yep.
screw you guys over. So yeah, we went to Apple. You got a new phone, and
And a new watch.
yeah, and
How
then
was the
we
watch,
tried
by
on.
the way? Because we were a few
Oh, yeah.
slides.
Nice. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
It's fun.
And then we got to try on the Vision Pros, which Apple's.
Very nice.
It was a fun experience.
The Vision Pro was life changing for me, man. I just kind of went along like, oh, GrappLr needs to buy some stuff. Let me just come to the Apple Store, even though I'm a Samsung guy. You know, I'm an Android guy. Yeah, the demo was insane, man. Oh my god.
I
It's such
still
high
can't-
resolution, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like you're seeing everything like you're seeing it now, but there's just like technology on the wall. You can go
Yeah.
into pictures. It was insane.
So I have a VR headset, and I can't remember which one it is. I think it's like the Quest.
Yeah.
So I've had VR experience, but you can always tell that you're in VR because it's like
Yeah.
it's very like narrow. But that one, it was very good. Like the fact that Apple have built it, like I kind of knew going in, like they're not gonna mess around. They're not gonna do a bad product. The eye tracking was amazing. The controls of just tapping was insane. Like I said to the guy afterwards, there's a football/soccer for the Americans. There's a scene that they show you where you're on top of like the football net and
Yeah.
like you're watching them play, and it's like you got to experience it for like 5 seconds maybe.
It was the
Bro.
best thing by far. It was insane.
Yeah.
It wasn't even close. It was literally as if you were on top of the thing. The sound, it just felt like
Yeah.
you were there.
The baby rhinos were really impressive too. I think there was like a scene where
Oh, yeah.
they were like washing some baby rhinos or something, and it was literally like you
remember-
could reach out your hand and pet them.
Yeah, the
like that one too.
spatial like awareness that, for like the camera is very good.
It's very good.
But I can see it becoming mainstream once the price has dropped. I think the price is the only thing holding back sales. Once the
They
price
need a few
drops,
things to be fixed as well. I think. Like I don't think the weight distribution felt very good. It was a little bit heavy on my face.
Mhm.
I think you need a counterweight on it, honestly, like just to balance it out because I feel like it was sagging on my face.
Yeah.
I think I would get tired of that pretty quickly. I think it have a little bit more field of view. It was a little bit fuzzy on the sides, and other than that, like it was great.
Mhm.
Like an amazing VR headset. Resolution super high. Like when you have like the real life world being shown to you through the camera, it looks like almost real life resolution.
Yeah.
And you can sort of tell it's not, but not easily. Like it's really, really
exactly.
high fidelity.
You put it on, and then it's like, oh, this is slightly different. But then like 10 seconds later, you're like, oh, this is normal.
Yeah.
I think the brightness was the main thing. Once you take off the headset, you realize how bright the outer, like the outside is compared to the headset. But like it didn't stop the immersion. It was just you kind of just like adapted to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything about that, it was insane. So I'm very interested to see what goes on in that field.
Do you think you would have bought one GrappLr if you had like that kind? I mean, if cash wasn't like if it wasn't that expensive, right? Because it was like 3.5K. I was low-key thinking like, should I take one home? But it's like I can't just give that amount of money away, you know?
I mean, you could.
I could, but it's a lot of money.
It's an
It is,
investment.
it is.
Investment
I mean,
for
I
what?
feel like version 2, version 3 are going to come out. They're going to be way better. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
definitely.
usually wait.
So after that, we went for some shopping. We played some chess because there was like big outdoor chess. I got dominated.
I was gonna make sure you'd mention it because GrappLr absolutely smacked you. At one point during the chess, GrappLr was like, I'm gonna lose some material. And then the next move, Marshall just blunders. I don't know what happens exactly. And GrappLr just went like across the board 5 times, just picking up piece by piece.
He forgot that his knight was protecting the queen.
No.
So
Yeah,
when he
so-
gave up his knight, I took the queen.
I went in and was like, hey, I've not played chess in 5 years, but I'll give it a go. And
It was
as a
fun.
card game player, I learned to look ahead a few turns. It's helped. It's good for games. So I'm looking ahead and I'm like, okay, I think I've lost. And like, I think I realized I lost 20 moves before we got to it. I was like, oh yeah, no, I know where this is going exactly. But hey, it was a fun game.
It was
GrappLr, GrappLr won with a lot of his board still remaining, and it was a fun thing before we set off to the fan meet.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. The rest of the day after we came back to the hotel from the shopping, we kind of sat in the lobby and chilled, and then like some people were, like the Americans were arriving. Boulevard, Majin Bay. I didn't see Puffball Panda or Broly actually arrive at the hotel. I think Broly
scammed us, I'm telling you.
Yeah, Broly lived like 30 minutes away from the hotel, as he was like the latest one to arrive. Like, damn, Broly.
She knew we would use her to drive us around, and she just decided not to show up. She knew.
True.
Exactly. Yeah, we had to get Ubers for everything.
Yeah, so we got the Uber to the Dave and Buster's, and it was just torrential storm.
Yeah.
Like, we got there and they were like, "Oh yeah, just to let you know, all the power has just gone out." So
yeah, I had messages in Discord telling me they're not going to show up because of the storm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it definitely hindered the numbers a little bit, but we still had a good size amount of people there. Like when
30,
everyone was around
30 or something
around
total?
30 to 35. Some people like came and left, but for the people that stayed, we did have a group shot of everyone together, which was I think it was a good picture. I liked it. It was good to see everyone's face, and then you can see his face here. Josino started the trend of I know Hash specifically loved every single picture with Josino's face, because like that man has the face for photos.
Oh yeah.
So you can see him peeking through Floppy Mudkip. He's just got a funny face. Josino, I've got new respect for him. That man, he was a secret highlight of that event.
Yeah, I think like for me personally, I didn't know a lot of the competitive players, so you never knew what to expect. But Josino, like it was a bit of a silent type, but when he did talk, it was just like, it was such a funny dude, man. He was so nice hanging out with.
I posted his photo on Twitter, and why were they? Who is Professor Umbridge? I was being told Sunny looks like her in this image.
the woman from
that?
Harry.
Is that the Harry Potter?
Headmaster. Yeah,
I don't know. Do you have a picture of Professor Umbridge? I'm just curious.
Yes, I will put it in the chat. Professor Umbridge is like the evil.
With the pink sweater.
Yeah, they told me that specific photo made it.
I mean, I don't see it, but like, I mean, I guess the hair, right? The hair kind of matches it. All right, I'll put it in chat.
I don't know. I don't even know who that is.
There you go.
Oh, come on, man. Come on, dude.
Wait. You put the glasses on her? I'm not so sure, man. Slap on some glasses.
You know what? If that's how I age, if that's me in 30 years, 40 years.
You know what? You'll make a good Professor Umbridge. Don't worry about it.
I appreciate that.
But yeah, no, we got some good photos. Then as we were leaving, there was this woman that was she was ready to fight. She with the staff, like,
dude,
pissed her off or something.
I just want to reenact this, okay? So you have to imagine that right here, or let's say here in front of the camera, there's two people arguing, right? And
what did you just point at?
Like what did you say?
What did you just point at? What is that thing on your desk?
This?
The golden thing behind you.
Oh, that's his Mario Kart statue.
This? Oh yeah.
Oh, is that a Mario Kart statue?
It is, yeah.
Are you good at Mario Kart?
Yeah, I was one of the best players in the Netherlands. You beat me during the arcade session. But what I just wanted to do really fast was reenact, like, if there were people standing like right here that were arguing, they were having a fight, everybody was just kind of standing back and looking at them, like, you know, if they pull out a gun, I just want to jump away. And then GrappLr like came up to the scene, and you just kind of like stood here like, what's going on here? You were like a few meters in front of it, just making sure you got all of it. And I thought that was so, just like no fear.
To be fair, I asked him why was he looking, and he said, I want to make sure that if they pull out a gun, I know to react in time.
I mean, yeah, I hear there's a lot of guns in the US.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about California. I feel like California's kind of liberal, so there's not that many guns. I don't think you're allowed to open carry, but like, I mean, all it takes is one bad egg.
Yeah.
So,
you either stay super close or super far. Being in the middle is not the ideal spot.
True.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. But the viewer meetup, I think, was insane, by the way. I just want to say that really fast.
So cool.
Like, we haven't really gone over it, but I really do appreciate, like, we really appreciate everybody coming out, because, you know, it's weird, right? I feel like, for me, at least personally, I'm just like a dude that likes playing Runeterra, so seeing people actually be like, hey, Sunny, you know, it's nice to meet you, and stuff like that, the fact that people actually come out for that was surreal to me. But I really do appreciate everyone that was there, and it was really fun to meet people and also just play games with you guys and the people that came out.
Yeah, I also had a blast. It was a really fun viewer meetup. I think I got lucky in Mario Kart, to be honest. Like, I think you were not used to using a brake and a foot pedal. Like, you play on controller, I'm guessing.
Yeah, and drifting is pretty responsive on console.
So I was watching you play because you played a match before me, and I saw you kept crashing into the walls. And I'm like, well, I started like devising my plan on how to beat you during that time because I noticed like you weren't braking enough before the big heavy turn. So I think I beat you because of that. I was using the brake before the turns. Yeah,
that's smart. So in Mario Kart, you can actually brake during drift. So like to kind of like adjust your drifting, and you go super tight around the corner if you do that. But that mechanic was not in the game, and I kept trying it. And then I tried to brake normally a couple of times. I was like, yeah, now I'm losing even more speed. So I don't know. It was not the strat, but.
But yeah, no, the viewer meetup was very cool. We had a lot of people.
You got some arm wrestling done too. That was fun.
True.
Yeah.
I arm wrestled Margin for approximately 1 second.
Oh, wait, that was you and Margin at the end, right?
Yeah. Because I said so you two were doing it, and I was like, "Yo, Margin, I want to go against you." And I've not got very strong arms, so I was like, "This isn't gonna go well." And I literally went like this, and then it just snapped back immediately. I just was like, "Oh!" I was like, "Okay, I need to train my arms more."
Nice. Yeah, that was fun.
But yeah, that was the end of the Wednesday, and then we left at like midnight because we had to go to Riot Campus the next day, so we didn't want to stay up too late.
I think it was closing anyway, wasn't it?
It was closing anyway, but I think some people were saying that they wanted to go out again, like somewhere
they did
else.
go out again. Yeah.
I was like, tired. I was like, yeah, no, I'm already on like 4 hours sleep. I'm not gonna stay up. So yeah, next day we all woke up. We all went down to the shuttle. Took the trip to Riot. It's about 10 minutes away from the hotel. Yeah. So we all got there. We were all excited, and we all got welcomed in. We had to sign our NDAs, and then we got given the invitation like badge so that we didn't get kicked off. Sure. Yes. So that we didn't get kicked off campus if we were just wandering around.
Yeah. I still think my NDA is illegitimate.
Why? Because of the title thing at the end?
Yeah. You're supposed to put title streamer, but I put title GrappLr. I didn't know, man.
No, so they said, what do you put? So they said you could put streamer or you could put gamer. And I'm like, I'm going to become a gamer.
And GrappLr, like, I'm going to become a GrappLr. Or I am a GrappLr.
I should have asked.
So if you want to leak anything, you can probably.
I mean,
there is stuff to leak still.
I mean, there is. I mean, the NDA drops for everything tomorrow, right?
But wait, if I leaked it right now, wouldn't Snnuy be the one getting in trouble? Not me.
No, because I'm
talking to people who are within the NDA. No, like.
True. I mean, I could just say it now, and Snnuy has to cut it out. And if he doesn't,
true, he has to edit it out. If not, it's his fault.
You're just giving me extra work.
if I like flash the image for 1 second when he's not paying attention.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, I'll count to 3, and then you guys can say it. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
We're under heavy lock and key for.
That was basically the day, though, right? It was like when we arrived there, we had a tour across the Riot campus a little bit. We didn't get to go to the TFT or the League of Legends areas. We ate, and then we had like the FAQ about Runeterra. And that's basically where we got to see almost everything. And I think we're allowed to share what they answered about specific questions. We're just not allowed to share like specific future content.
I mean, depends on the questions. Like we had some questions at dinner I'm not sure we can answer or at least talk about.
So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that. Do you know that dinner with Dave? I don't remember that much. I feel like we took so much information in. I feel like half of it has just gone. It's so bad because we asked so many questions. So
that's what I remember the most.
All right, well that's good because you can recap for me. So I'll do the Q&A section. So we did the tour of Riot. We then went to get some lunch. And by the way, for those that don't know, Riot's like lunch canteen is absolutely insane. It's insane. It's a fairly decent size. It is amazing. Loads of different foods. We went round and I got these like kebab meats and I was like, these are good. And GrappLr didn't get one. And then after he ate, he went back and got some. I was like, oh, I messed up. I should have got this.
Yeah, they were really good kebab meats.
So yeah, we all sat down. There was a picture that I put on Twitter for the LOR report and was like, hey, it's lunchtime. We got to sit down with some devs. You guys sat down with Dave for that dinner, I think. I was a little bit... I think you did, GrappLr. Me and Snnuy were a little bit further down.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Me personally, some of the best food I had in LA was at the Riot campus.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like,
actually,
we say it's canteen food, but like it's canteen food, but it's good. It's not bad
really
canteen
good.
food. And then we then went to the Nocturne room, which all of the like meeting rooms in Riot are based off champions. So we went to the blackout room, the Nocturne one for the presentation. We all walked in, we took a seat. There were some of the developers at the front, and then they were like, okay, we asked you to send in some questions. So some of us sent in some questions. I think Boulevard sent like 30. I sent like 6 or 7. And everything.
I sent 0.
Yeah, so some people definitely didn't send any because you could tell from when they were like, hey guys, we're going to keep this open an extra day. I was like, okay. But then me and Boulevard like properly were like, okay, we've collected some answers, we'll send them in. And then it was like a good, I think it was a good Q&A. There was a lot of stuff that they answered, which was very nice to hear. So there's 2 things specifically that really were like, oh, very interesting. So I'll leave it up to Snnuy if he wants to cut this out the video. So first thing that really caught my attention was the affiliate link that they potentially were going to talk about.
We were allowed to talk about that, right?
Yeah. So they said that they're going to be changing monetization for like Path of Champions. They've already said that in, I think it was a Reddit video before we got there, that like it was going to be more heavily monetized for the new content. And then they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna work on some like potential, was it IRL merch that they were going to sell, and they were going to stick it with
I don't
an affiliate link.
I don't know if there was anything specific. I just remember hearing about an affiliate link.
So they were like,
I've had an affiliate link before with Riot, and it was kind of meh implemented. I mean, they have to do a better job with it, but it definitely has a lot of potential.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it depends on what they sell. If they sell stuff like the packs, you know, there's certain stuff that people will buy, even if it was just random. I mean, I don't think they'll do packs because for those that don't know, these are all handcrafted. Every single pack that you see is someone picking up a card, each individual card, putting it into the pack, ironing it close. So unless they like get them mass produced, I don't think that they'll sell pack.
Probably not.
They could sell IRL merch, but yeah, the fact that they're looking at it as an option is very interesting, because it's like, okay, now they're looking more in a way to monetize the game than they have in the past, which also helps content creators. That was one of the things they said. They were like, hey, we handed these out to content creators, and it'll be a way for them to get revenue, which is like, it's for you two, right? You're the 2 like prime examples of people that would be wanting to use these. So
I'm not super optimistic how much money it's going to make, honestly.
Yeah, it depends. If there's like a discount for the people that click the link and get something that they would normally get, but at cheaper, then sure.
Yeah.
Then people would probably use it. But if it's just like, hey, here's a link to buy the same thing, but different and with more effort, I don't think anyone uses it. And I can't blame them either. That makes sense. That would be me. I'm lazy as hell.
Yep.
And then the other thing that got said was, we had the LOR button finally go in the League client, only for OCE. And some people there were like, oh, they didn't know. Like, it was a very, like, I thought it was a like known thing, but some people just didn't know about it. And they were like, oh yeah, the numbers from that. Now, this is the thing that I may have forgotten. You guys might think, was it new players went up 300%? Well, not 300, 3 digits percentage. Was that what they said? Was it the player signups that went up 3 digits?
Yeah, it was well under 3 digits. That's what they said. And I think, honestly, what they mean is, like, this would be 500% increase or something, if not more.
Yeah, so, like, it's definitely worked. And I don't think there's that many players on OCE, because that's, like, just Australia, right? I don't think it's, like, the Asian server.
No, it's
so
not.
The fact
OCE
that it's
is just Australia.
So the fact that it's a small region and it increased player base by that much, like, we should be getting it in League probably in the next 2 weeks. They said in February, so worldwide.
I think when the patch comes out, which is in like on the 28th.
True, that would be a good day to do it.
Yeah, 28th. Yeah, that would be a perfect time to do it, because that's when new cards also get added to the game.
Yeah, and then more players, more eyes on the game, more people spending money.
Yeah.
Less of a deficit the game is in, because they mentioned the deficit, right, when we were in the interview, and they were like, hey, this game is not doing too hot on the budget.
That's a nice way to put it.
Yeah, it's I mean, Mark said it in the state of the video, the state of the game video. They don't mind the game being in the red. They just don't want it being in as much of the red that it's in.
It's like in the purple. It's,
yeah. It's just black. There's no color to it anymore. It's just they're looking at it like, oh no. So I am very curious to see what this is gonna do because so as much as I like the team, I feel like this is one of the biggest blunders that they have ever done. I don't know why it was never done sooner. I don't think there's a reasonable excuse that they can say. I think it is purely on the fact of whoever is in charge of it. I really hope this isn't one of the developers that's still on the team, but you should be fired because the fact that this wasn't done shows incompetence.
I don't think it's as simple as that. Like it's never like, hey guys, this might be a good idea. Let's do it. This needs to run through so many layers at Riot, and that's probably where the hiccup is somewhere. I mean, again, I don't have that insider knowledge, but there's almost no way that's not how it goes in a business. So somewhere along that chain, they tried to fight for it to get the root. Because every single dev that we spoke to is like, yeah, I would have liked to see this. Even during the dinner, Dave was saying that if I could have done things differently, I would have. These are ideas that I have that I could have done. Yeah. They've literally talked about things that he would have done. I'm pretty sure like we're allowed to talk about this, right? Because one of the things that he said was like, pay, I don't know, I'm just naming a random number here. Pay $20 to get the entire expansion, right? So instead of buying a battle pass, or maybe that's even like separate, like the battle pass, event pass is still there, but you buy the expansion for $20 and you get every single card. There, done. That's like the mini adventures or like the mini expansions from Hearthstone 2. They do that, and as far as I'm aware, they're fairly successful.
So Dave referred to it as the booster pack system, which clearly they talked about it because he's named the system, and I think it's the one that I would have gone for if I were like, hey, you need to monetize this game somehow. They want to be, I think they want to be the card game that's the most fairest, and I think the best way to do that is with the booster packs. You don't buy individual cards. It would have been nice to see them try it. I don't know why they have just decided to stick with this model, knowing it doesn't do anything.
I don't think you can try without like relaunching the game. I think there's too many I don't think the game is designed to be booster pack oriented. Like you have to rebuild a lot of things from scratch.
I guess. I mean, I don't even think you could re-release the game. Like if you just scrap it out and go, all right, you need to buy all the foundations.
So here's my question. I'm interested how you feel about this too, GrappLr. What if the game right now, like this announcement that we got, clearly there is going to be less content, less focus on PvP. What if this is like them giving the game 1 year to kind of just like, settle down, get people's attention maybe a bit away from it, and then in a year they actually do a soft relaunch, and then that stuff happens? How would you see that? How would you view that if that was the case?
I actually talked about that on my stream today. I said like it's super high copium. I don't think it's happening almost at all. Like I don't think there's a very high probability, but like the way I could see the game ever getting relaunched is that they basically let PvP die. The game starts doing decently enough in POC that it's not very much in the red or break even. And if they can go long enough, but that would be like a 1.5 year thing. If they let PvP die and PvP becomes like a shell of its former self, then they could rationalize and at least sell the idea, well, the game is dead here. We can relaunch it with a better system. But if the game is still very much alive, I don't think they can relaunch. I don't think Riot would ever go for it. Like, oh, we're going to kill the game to relaunch it. People are going to complain about their collections. There's going to be a PR nightmare. Like they lost all the stuff they've grinded over the last 5 years. I think the game needs to die for it to be relaunched.
I mean, how would you feel about like a new rotation? Let's say we get a rotation now in March, I think it is. What if like the next year is when it happens during rotation, and then they release like a bunch of new cards, like here, pay this amount, get every single set
for the new cards?
I mean, in a year, like we have rotation in March, and then a year later we have another rotation, and then you pay like X price once, like you pay $20 to get every single card that is available in rotation, and then the expansions that come afterwards, you can unlock those cards instantly too by paying $20. I feel like that is almost like exactly what Dave, well, not exactly,
but like the people who are playing right now, like a lot of people just have enough to craft multiple expansions. That's another issue.
Yeah, but so take that away. Cards are no longer craftable with Green Essence. You just got to pay like that one amount.
I mean, if they made it so Green Essence wasn't a card like currency, because during the second day when we had the dinner outside, I was like, someone was like, oh, you can sit with the dev table if you want. And there was literally like 5 devs. And I went around and I was like, am I okay to sit here? And I asked them a couple of questions about the currency. We were talking about green shards. And I was like, oh yeah, no, I have like 600,000 shards. And when there was like the gauntlet, I just used to go in and surrender. And you used to just like do it constantly and get points from it.
Yeah.
And one of them like physically died inside. They were like, oh, you should not have said that. Because they were like, that's not what we want. It's a collectible card game. And there's like, you guys aren't collecting. You're just like, oh yeah, I'll just get the cards.
Yeah. Throwing away green essence. Yeah.
So it's, I feel like there's a lot of stuff for currency wise that they failed on. And I think the green shards were like, when you're starting out the game, it's very good. I think that's like perfect, but it's like the progression that you get stuff is really quick.
Yeah, that's ass. Yeah. That's why Marvel Snap is seen as so scummy, because like you have that perfect, like the new cards are trickling in. It's like, it must be like really, really like, they must have gone back and forth on that so many times. Like, what is the perfect amount of cards to give to new players? Like maybe every like X amount of games. And then afterward, after you're out of that system, you have to actually start buying the new cards. And because you're not getting like that, you know.
Yeah, they did the perfect math to maximize monetization, but nobody says you have to maximize monetization in lore. I've always argued that you can go as far to free to play as you want, just that it's too far at the moment. Like, it's not like the game is 100% free to play. You can still buy cards. I mean, when the game first launched, you could still buy wild cards. There was a little bit of like pay to win. It wasn't 100% everybody is on the exact same playing field, but it was just so free to play that it was essentially free to play after a certain amount of time of play. I think they just went too far to that direction. They should have cut it back a bit more. And I still think to this day, like, they should have launched with card packs, but that's my opinion. I think card packs are just, they're one of the funnest part about card games. And I know there's people out there who don't feel that way, but I think the majority of card players, they live for the rush of opening a pack and hoping to get the legendary they want. It's just part of the addiction to card games. If you don't have that, you just have a game, right? And the game of Runeterra is excellent. I still think it's the best card game on the market in terms of playability, but it's just a game. It doesn't have other aspects that make TCGs or CCGs fun.
This is why I think it's like so good if Path of Champions does well and they have those bundles like the Elise and Aurelion Soul one that they said sold really well. If that does well, then I feel like they have a much more like forgiving player base as well when it comes to the PvP stuff. Also, I'm sorry, Marshall. You want to say
no. I was gonna say that like people have been like on Twitter like, hey, I would pay like $100 to get one of these packs, and it's like, damn it,
don't do that.
Yeah. Don't number one, don't pay that much for
Marshall,
it.
Don't pay that much. Marshall, don't take money at all. Trust me.
Oh no. Okay. I'm not selling them. I mean, I spoke to Jules about this. Jules specifically told me we are not allowed to sell.
Nah, if you give me 500, I'm just saying, like, you can DM me on Discord.
Yeah,
I'll even weigh the packs for you for 500.
But yeah, no, it's they definitely should. It's kind of mind-boggling to me that they're like, okay, the game is in the red, but they want to keep the game going, but then they never attempted to change the monetization. It's one of those things that's like, clearly there's something going on where their morals of wanting to keep the game free to play and like what that kind of genre has like hindered the actual business model. And it's like, well, which one do you want? You either keep the game and it dies, or you change the model and you keep the game that you supposedly want to keep. So it's going to be very interesting because my personal opinion, so I don't play Path, you two do. I don't think Path is strong enough to carry this game. I disagree. As much as I see, so you two have already said that you disagree. I think that in a year's time, the game's just going to get shut down. It's really sad, but that's my opinion. I'm going to stick with the game until the end because I love this game and I'm not going to just quit. I understand why people have, and I understand the anger for everything. I just don't think that Path is strong enough to like, it's not Legends of Runeterra anymore. It's just Path of Champions. Like, depending on what happens with balance, depending on what happens with new card releases, like when Eric said like, oh yeah, new cards are only going to come out for Path. I'm like, well, I like PvP. I like deck building. I like doing all this stuff. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, but like statistics show that the majority of people are playing POC. And
True.
I mean, it makes sense why they're doing it. Secondly, I think I could be wrong here, but I think making POC content is significantly cheaper than making PvP content.
Oh yeah.
It's extremely cheap to make. So they cut down a large part of the dev team, which is saving them a lot of costs as well. Like, I mean, plus now they can cut down an artist. They have to hire, like, I think because the costs are so much lower, like POC is going to be better than POC plus PvP for them, at least internally. They're going to say we're doing better, right?
Yeah, like, I mean, the amount of stuff that we've cut, they don't have to make new cards anymore. Well, so what I think they're going to do for expansions, I've said this in the thing, I think they're just going to do like the Aphelios one, where it's like you get a champion and it's like that's the thing that gets released. So you save all of the art, you save all of the voice lines, you save all of the time working on the cards, like designers, you save it on engineers, like there's less bugs that come out with each set. So there's like, what they've done is a very harsh, like, we're cutting off basically all of the stuff that we're spending money on. There's no competitive anymore, there's no opens. So they'll look at the number of like how much they're losing, and it's from like March, because the staff are until March, the number that they're losing will like go up. Oh, sorry, it will go down. Because they're not spending as much on the game.
Also, do keep in mind that they're adding lore to League Studios. So, like, let's say, for example, there's a new champion release in League. Well, they can use whatever art they make for the showcase of said champion into a lore card art. Like, you know, you can reuse a lot of assets for lore that are used for events that are being done in League or in Wild Rift or whatever.
And depending how serious you take it, I think streamlining that whole like reveal cycle or release cycle, if you add something to League, like a new champion, and you have an LOR button at the top, and you add that champion to Runeterra at the same time, I think that's actually like huge for just player hype. Sure. Because one thing about League of Legends is that when a new champion comes out, everybody wants to play it. Like you go into a game, but only 1 out of 10 can play it. You have so many dodges. Having that champion playable in a PvE game, Path Champions, I think is actually kind of cool. I think there is an angle there. I don't think that's like enough to carry it, but that is definitely something that players could be looking at, and especially with that, like I think that's a big deal. The button in the League line could be a game changer. I think if there's anything that's going to do a lot for it to get new players to actually play the game that haven't played it before, it's that. I
mean, I'd love to be proven wrong. Honestly, it would be great if I was proven wrong.
We love proving you wrong too, Marshall.
Yeah, I mean, I went into the announcement and I was like, yeah, this game is going to be announced dead, and then that was what I went in as, and I was like, okay, the game's not actually dead. So I was kind of like happy with that. So I'm just expecting the worst, and you know what? Anything else then is better than the game shutting down. I just really, the people that are left on the team have a lot of faith in. It's just a shame that we've lost a lot of really good designers. So Ruben, Vriss, John, Aaron, Joe was there, one of the engineers. There was loads of people that we got to meet, and it's like these people aren't going to be on the game anymore. It's like it's such like a sad turn of events, because it's like if these people got to stay on the game and they could keep doing what they were doing, this game probably would have got to a point where like they could have cut back some stuff. They could have tried it. Maybe they get them to all design Path of Champions and really focus on Path, but keep the designers so they can make some PvP content on the side. Well, I don't know. Like I said, I'd love to be proven wrong, but my hopes right now aren't too high.
Yeah. So that was day one.
True. Yeah, day one was a bit of a downer because we all got to talk with the devs, and it was a.
I'd say day two was a bigger downer because it was so amazing, and then at the end, everybody was very. Everybody was a bit emotional. I can't say I wasn't one of them either.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, day two was just like we arrived. We had food at Nam's again, which was a highlight, actually.
Yep.
We built the decks, and then it was like 5 hours of tournament, I think.
Was it that long? I think it was like 3.5.
I think it was 3.5, I think.
Okay.
Or something like that. 4 maybe.
Do you guys have any highlights for the tournament for yourself?
We have all the footage, right? We can show it later.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like I have no idea. My tournament was fun. We got a little bit unlucky with the deck building, like that there was a bug in one of our main decks, and I low rolled a few times. It is what it is. My opponents were pretty good, but overall I had fun. Yeah, it was a really, really fun tournament. I wish I could have played it again.
I enjoyed the tournament, but I did not win. I think I won one game, and it was against Rolly, and it's because I like high rolled the hell. I was like, I'm gonna bring fun decks. I'm gonna bring Jack Set. I'm gonna bring Sejuani Samira. and I'm going to bring a Galio Ude with the new card. And my Galio Ude deck was banned every single game, apart from the early game. And I was like, all right, I guess I'm not winning this tournament. But like, I lost, but then I got to reveal the Demacia card. So who's the real winner?
True. Although, to be fair, I don't think anyone would have picked that card to reveal.
Yeah.
You were safe,
Oh,
brother.
come on. You chose the league card. You got the worst
You
one.
didn't know.
No, it's still better than the Demacian card.
Agreed, actually. Yeah, I got carried by margin. I did not do well in the first round. I won like one best of 3. I went 1-2 every single time, I think, so I did collect 1 point. But I had that Galio Udyr deck, and it was just not really performing. I think it was a fine enough deck, just couldn't make it work. That's what almost all my losses were on.
You know, it's interesting. The tournament was a very fun format. We got put into pairs. One person was playing Eternal, one person was playing Standard, and then it was like a Swiss. So you just versed 4 other people. And then the people that got you got a point for each win that you got in a game. The people with the 2 highest points were you and Margin, and Vriss and Mr. Bear.
Yeah.
So it had to be 1 from each team. So it was Mr. Bear because they didn't want a Rioter to play. And then it was, well, you 2 teamed together because you could talk with each other. And then, yeah, you came out as the victors. So you can reveal your... have you revealed what you chose? For your prize? Because there was 10 mystery prizes.
I think it was leaked somewhere. Somebody said something about it. But yeah, I took the title.
So you and 5 other players of your choice.
Yeah, 5.
Or is it even 4 other? Isn't it 5 total? Or am I crazy?
I thought it was 5.
Others, but...
Yeah, I thought it was 5 others. You can make a custom title, which was the one that I was going to go for because I thought no one was going to go for it. But literally, you were the first one, and you went, I'm having it.
Why would nobody go for that? It's like you put something of yourself in the game.
Yeah, so I didn't think, like, I just thought it was something that I would just enjoy, and I didn't think that other people would. But yeah, no, clearly I was proven wrong.
Yeah. Don't worry. You two can get my title. It's going to be Elusive Enjoyer, though. But...
Hey, that's fine.
That's so bad, bro. Elusive Enjoyer.
No, but so it was elusive. He said he was elusive player. Then I said elusive abuser, and he was like, "Oh no, that's good." And now he's gone back to.
It should be Ionia hater. That would be spicy.
Like Pink Hater or something like that. Yeah.
Pink Hater.
Hater.
That's actually really good too. I love that.
But yeah, no, there was loads of good prizes. Like
Seraphine can't sing.
Majin Bay has the loading screen things.
That's why it would be a good one.
So yeah, there was loads of different prizes that everyone got. I think there was some that I didn't personally would have wanted. Like there was the mystery prize, which turned out to be $200 for the Riot store, which is pretty good because the statues that you can get, there's some good statues. We saw them in the LCS store.
I'd be disappointed if I picked that over player title. I was thinking if I win, I'm going to pick mystery, but like it would have been player title so much cooler, dude. Like 5 titles, you can sell them for like 1K each.
What would you go for if you had the title?
Me?
GrappLr and Marshall after, sure.
I don't know. Like I go something like Mimi. I don't know. Like maybe I think it would be really cool to have the title Giga Chad. I think that's a sick title. Like because Riot would never print something like that. But I don't know what the rules would be. I think a cool title like something like in my personal opinion, I'd put like Papaya Squad or something stupid. But that's me.
Hearthstone player, something like that.
Oh, well, I don't think they would allow that.
No, I don't think so either.
Allegiance Mister.
Allegiance Mister, true, decent. I don't think I would do something that's lore related. I would want something that when everybody looks at it, they're like, wait, how is that title in the game? You know, like, because if you put something like lore related, people are going to skip over it who don't know, right?
Yeah.
You want something that's like from outside the game, but that's allowed, obviously.
I think Giga Chad is like the funniest one. Like you'll load in, it'll just be GrappLr Giga Chad, and they'll be like, huh?
Yeah. Like you want something like that pulls like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
That they Google like, well, how the hell did that happen? How do you get that title?
What about you,
Yeah.
Marshall?
Well, I was gonna go if I won. I was thinking about like the first one that I wanted was Reporter because I thought it was like it's slick, it's clean, and then afterwards I'm like Giga Chad. I'm like, oh, I could just go for like a meme one, like Demacia Enjoyer, just something really like stupid and like I like it. The funny thing is Giga Chad is like the one where it's like you would get the best reaction to it. You want something where like they're gonna add you in game and be like, how the hell did you get that?
Yeah, exactly.
But like,
Because if you're the Demacia enjoyer, like they're just gonna think it's some random Demacia title. I say, okay, yeah.
true.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, that's a good point. Yeah, I'd have to think about it more.
I joked to Ruben and was like, okay, so the world champion ones are like 2023 world champion. Can I just have world champ? And he was like, no. I was like, but it's distinct enough. He was like, yeah, that's definitely not allowed.
What about champion of the world?
Oh, okay.
I don't think that. I mean, yeah, sure. I don't think you'd be allowed, but like, I like the way that you're thinking. I like it. But yeah, no, there was
player. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, something like generic but good. That's what we're looking for. And then the other prizes were like a tip for the loading screen. Some people get to see an early release of an expansion. There was the Path of Champions power design. There was the mystery prize. There was. Can you remember the others?
What about something like confirmed cheater?
For the title?
Yeah. Like, or just cheater. Wait, what?
Just put banned.
Yeah.
So like High Roller would also be hilarious.
Right. I know it's really funny,
Decent.
but I want the thing where it just says actually Boxer, and the people that know will know, and the people that have no clue they're like.
It's a funny meme, but I would.
It's an inside joke, but I mean, you'd get some laughs when you're playing in like the competitive scene.
But that doesn't exist anymore, so unlucky.
No. You guys are on the copium. We're competitive in 2026, right? That's the year of it.
Sure.
Competitive 3.0. But yeah, so we did the prizes, then we did the reveals, which are going live in 3 minutes. So when people can start posting. And then we after that was straight to the meal, right? The food afterwards.
Yeah,
the dinner was great.
The dinner was very good. Yeah, I wasn't expecting much of it, but it was very tasty. It was like outside.
Photo booth as well.
Oh yeah, so there was a photo booth. There was like a food like what do you call it? Like a buffet, like a food buffet.
Yeah.
And then did you guys have the Poro snacks?
I didn't.
No, I went for the other one, the raspberry one.
The fruit tart. Yeah. No, Ruben really liked that one. He went back for like 3-4 times. Really he was enjoying it. Yeah, and there was a photo booth. So like this photo here, this is from the photo booth. I think this is everyone but TOS. I tried to figure out who was missing. I think TOS is missing in here.
I don't see Rolly.
These are oh, true. Rolly's not there either. But yeah, they brought out the picture frames, which looked like this. We all got asked what our favorite card art was, and then we all got it signed.
Yeah.
So Sunny's has got his behind him. GrappLr has his behind him.
The Tito.
And honestly, it was so. I think this is when people really started to get emotional because it was like, it was more of towards the end. I felt like it was like a goodbye party to the devs that were there. Yeah. And it definitely felt like that. Like a lot of people saying thanks. A lot of people saying like, we're gonna miss you on the team. I think the first person to cry was Rolly, and then it kind of like everyone got a little bit emotional from there. And then
Rolly really had a tough time, and I was looking at Rolly and I was like, oof, I gotta stay strong here too, man, because that is rough. I don't know.
I was trying to hold back as long as I could, and then towards the end, we're like, okay, we need to get ready for the shuttle. And then we did like one big circle, and everyone started saying thanks and how everyone's gonna miss everything. And then I think that's when everyone just fucking broke down.
Yeah. I mean, it's an amazing team. It was an amazing event.
We're sure that the thing is now, right, for the car reveal today. Okay, good.
Yeah, literally in 30 seconds, I think.
Yeah,
so
right.
I'm just gonna prepare mine to go out because I want people to be able to see the card. But nice. But yeah, no, it was a very good. It was very nice to speak to everyone. All of the devs were very thankful. Jules, if you listen to this, screw you. You made everyone cry. Jules was like, hey, I'm gonna talk first, and then he made everyone cry. So it's his fault.
Dude, Jules is so good at karaoke. He can sing Japanese. It's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Actually, so we did karaoke afterwards, like late into the night, and it was very fun.
I lost my voice, dude.
Oh,
a little bit,
did you hear me singing? My voice was done.
my voice was pretty good, man.
It definitely was not.
It was good, man. You had the British accent. You pulled it off.
Hey, listen.
It's about confidence. That's all it's all about.
But Snnuy may have had a bit too much to drink.
I did.
True.
In the karaoke. I didn't realize how drunk he was until we got into the car. I said
was
pub,
wobbling a
and he
little
went, I just heard this in the corner. Pub.
Yeah, because of the way I still think that's funny. The way Marshall pronounced pub.
So I was like, so bear in mind, it was GrappLr, it was me, GrappLr, Snnuy. I just hear pub, I look over, and Snnuy is plastered. And I'm just like, this man, I was like, this man cannot hold his alcohol.
No.
But yeah, no, it was a fun, it was a sad ending to everything. It was like bittersweet. We all got to say thank you to everyone. We got to hug everyone. We got to say thank you. We got to say goodbye. And then it was karaoke, and everyone had fun at karaoke.
I think people just didn't want it to end. Like, it's only 2 days, but it felt so much longer because we did so many things. It felt like we were there for a week.
Yeah.
So like, okay, today is ending. We're all going to go back to our boring lives, and well, might not happen again. Peace. You know, it's like, so.
I mean, in a way, yeah. I was happy to be home. You know, just like back to streaming, back to my girlfriend. And
I wasn't
everything.
day one. Day one, I'm like, no, this sucks. I want to go back to LA. But day two, I felt pretty good. Yeah, after I streamed today, I felt really good.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. It's the one thing that really that I noticed every single day was you would wake up pretty early because of the jet lag, and then if I look back at the evening to the morning, I was like, am I sure this isn't 2 entire days when it was just one? Right? The days felt so long and so packed. It's like more in one day than I would sometimes do in an entire week. Felt like.
Mm-hmm.
You guys taking care of the cart reveals?
Yeah, sorry. No, so I added TOS. So TOS doesn't have a Twitter, so that's why TOS was like kind of a surprise going to this event. Because he doesn't have social media, so he made an account, and I added the wrong account. So I'm just quickly trying to fix it. I'm like, hey guys, this is the right reveal place. But yeah, so everyone's just doing the reactions to the reveals now. My tweet on the LOR report has gone out of like, hey, we're doing the reveals. Check these people's Twitter. You can go and check out the cards that are coming out.
Yeah, I'll be posting it very soon-ish. I have a video prepared that I'm gonna publish in like an hour. I want to give everybody time to post their cards first.
Yeah, I mean, I showed GrappLr my video. It is super, super low quality,
really
but it does the job. I'm like, you know what? I wanted like a low quality, like, shit post, and it's a good shit post. It's a good shit post.
That's how the LOR report started. Yeah.
True. We started out as a joke account, and that's how I will end things. When Runeterra is long dead, I've already said this, the account will end with me going back to the parody account and tweeting, why is no one playing my game? And then that's the last thing I'm going to tweet from that account.
So, to wrap it up, the one thing that we can look forward to, since the variety cards are being posted right now, on the 27th, we get the patch notes. And on the 28th of February, that's when the patch goes live. And then 4 weeks after the 28th will be the new expansion. So that is the stuff to look forward to right now. Does anyone, GrappLr, is there anything, any final words, any last words about LA, the card, whatever you want?
Well, I mean, I think we wrapped pretty much everything up here. Yep. It was a really fun trip. I really liked meeting you guys. Usually when I meet people in real life who I've at least like known of or watched online, I always feel like, well, they're not going to be similar, but honestly, I can't think of a single person I didn't like in the meetup. Like, everybody was cool.
Yeah.
Every single person. So nobody was like a disappointment. Like, you were, okay, you're literally exactly the same.
That's not what words I thought were going to come out of the mouth there. I thought
it wasn't better. It was exactly the same.
From Snnuy.
Yeah. Everyone else was cooler than I imagined, but I mean, I already imagined Snnuy to be cool. So to be fair, being exactly the same was a good thing, right? But yeah, it was a blast to meet everybody. Feel like I made some friends, and I mean, hopefully one day we can meet up for whether it be Runeterra or something else. You never know.
Yeah,
I'm definitely down.
Same here. And any last words from you, Marshall?
Not really. I just, apart from like literally the only thing I was worried about was that we'd have someone that we wouldn't be able, like, we'd have like disagreements with on the thing, but everyone was super chill. Literally, like I posted about it, I wouldn't have changed that group. That group was perfect. That was the exact group that we needed to have such a fun time. And I'm thankful for everyone that went. I'm thankful for the influencer team to sorting it all out. Michelle, Kristen, Lucas, Jules, Matt. There's probably other people that I'm forgetting, but thank you very much for flying us out.
Yeah, huge shout out, honestly. From the trip to the event to the trip back, it was perfect, and it made the ride so smooth and enjoyable. So
And it wasn't just the 2 days. They like did so many fun things with us for the other days as well. Like before the event, after the event, they were freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Unbelievable.
Jules managed to hit me up with the LCS tickets, and we got to experience the LCS. We got to meet Riot August very quickly. He was there.
Did you mention LOR to August?
Because we said we were the law people, and he was like, oh, and we said because someone, I think it was Card Gamer went, I like your champion design. He was like, oh really? He said, yeah, but I don't play the game, so I don't know anything about the game. He was like, I like your character design. So he was like, oh, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. He designed Zeri, so that's not a compliment he should be getting.
But yeah, it was an amazing trip, and yeah, thanks again to Riot for dealing with us for the 3 days.
Yeah, I feel exactly the same. It was amazing. It was very well managed. It was incredible to just meet everybody. But that's the end of the episode, so I want to thank you, GrappLr, for being on this episode.
It was fun, man.
Sure, we'll see you back one day, if not the next one, because there's still a lot to talk about. Marshall, you as well, as always, partners in crime when it comes to this podcast, so we'll be back in, I don't actually know, the schedule's a bit of a mess. We'll have to see where we take this with the new announcement and everything, but we'll let everybody know when that is the case.
Yeah, I mean, the next one for us is probably the next expansion, after that.
Yeah, I think so too.
We'll take a longer break for the next one. I think it's going to be like 7 weeks until you see a new podcast, but there'll be a new expansion. I'm fairly sure that's when the Path of Champions Lysandra gets released. So there'll be a lot of stuff to talk about. Path enjoyers, PvP enjoyers, we can all have one last hurrah before things change for this game, and I'm holding on. I'm here till the end. I'm just hoping that end is many years away.
Same here. All right. See you next one, everybody.
Nice hanging out.